So today we're going to be looking at how this Lansky sharpening system works on this hunting knife. This is usually how I sharpen all my knives, filleting knives, work knives, pretty much everything. It works really well. So what I'm doing right now, I'm setting it into the clamp. There's a little slot where you want to stick the knife into, and you could adjust that to fit the knife with that thumb screw I'm using and that flathead screw right by my thumb right there. And once I get that settled in there pretty good, that's not moving, I'm going to set the coarse stone is what I'm going to start with. That's a 120 grit, and I'm going to work up a burr on that. And once I get the burr worked up, I'm going to flip it over, work the burr up on the other side, and then I'm going to swap to the medium grit from there, and that'll basically it'll refine the edge. Pretty much what you're doing is you're working the edge up with the coarse stone, and then from there using finer and finer grits to refine that edge and get it to a really nice sharp edge. Got to oil the stones as well. That way it carries all the metal away from the blade. Also, you can see all the slots inside that clamp. And so they're set at 30, 25, 20, and 17. So the steeper the angle, like 30, 25, that would be more for your work knives, because that isn't going to have as sharp of an edge, but it will be a more durable edge. The shallower you go, like 20, 17, that's more for your filleting knives, or say this hunting knife, where you want it to be very sharp, but it doesn't have to be as durable because you're going to be cleaning it up a lot more. So here I swap to the medium grit, and that is, I believe, 280, I want to say, 280 grit. And you'll notice as each stone gets finer and finer, you'll notice that it starts getting quieter and quieter. You won't hear like it scratching on the metal as much. You're basically taking the deeper scratches out of the coarse stone and refining it more with this stone. And now we have the 600 grit fine stone, and that's going to further reduce those scratches and refine that edge. Now, if this was my work knife, this is about as far as I would take it, as it would leave a slightly rough edge, which is better for sawing things like rope and like insulation and stuff like that. Here we've got the 1000 grit superfine stone, and you'll notice that you can barely hear this thing rubbing against the edge, because that's how fine that stone is. And I've got one more stone that I'm going to use on this knife after this one. So here we have the sapphire stone. I'm not exactly sure what grit this is because it's not advertised as having one. Well, at least Lansky doesn't tell you. And this is really the last one I'll use. It gets it to a mirror polish, and after this I'll just hit it with a leather belt to strop it and finish it off. And here's me stropping it out on my belt. And that's basically how I take care of all my knives. Just that same process I showed you. Now, if it's a work knife, I'll leave off the last two stones and finish off at the fine, but yeah, basically this is my knife care routine.